We talked about really leaning into our strengths, our talents, that our spiritual gifts are awakening and activating more rapidly than ever before. And Spirit wants us to know that these are heaven sent, that just as we would receive gifts in the physical world through the thoughtfulness of others, so do we receive spiritual gifts from the divine. And this is not something that we can happen upon. It is offered through the Spirit of grace. However, we can always ask for help and trust that it will be given in response to our request. We've moved into a more mature level of prayer. We no longer petition God or Source for what we desire. Instead, we ask to be shown our path of highest good, knowing that we are fulfilled completely in the process. And I think this is where the ego can step in and really start to go into fear and doubt because it's worried that giving over its control or saying, I surrender to the path of highest good, but only if I like it. The ego, really is concerned all the time that it's not going to have a say. And so, if we can be the parent consciousness to the ego, to the child consciousness, and let it know you will be fulfilled completely in this process. Like, God will blow your mind. Like, that, your little tiny dream is nothing compared to what actually the divine has in store for us. So, when we ask to be shown our path of highest good, we can also kind of caress the ego and let it know all of your dreams will be fulfilled within this path. And Spirit wants us to know that our spiritual gifts can also arise without us asking for anything at all, or at least not consciously, that oftentimes our hearts will cry out for help long before our ego even recognizes there's a problem. The next lyrics were, "Oh, inside me, I find my way back to you, back to you." So, once again, Spirit really encouraging this intimate personal relationship with the divine. And for those of us who have experienced that connection, we understand that it is not something that you can put words to. In fact, Spirit used to tell me when I would try to put words to it, you're speaking away your grace, because until a person has the experience of God in their body, until they desire it from their own heart, all you can really be is an example of what is possible. And to someone who is not desiring that yet, there may be such a frequency or vibration clash that you're not even looking at things, from the same perspective. And yet Spirit is encouraging us that no matter what is going on around us, this is the time to follow our heart's guidance and to truly ask our heart what it needs. That many of us, in fact, most of us, if not all of us, have been programmed out of listening to what the heart truly needs, and instead have been programmed to listen, to the matrix and what it feels, like it needs for us to produce for it or consume from it. And so when we're receiving these spiritual gifts from the divine, um, it doesn't have to be something that kind of like uh, is like the big whammy. I think the ego always thinks like, well, Spirit will talk about like opportunities coming our way, and we'll be like, I didn't get any opportunities. I don't know what Spirit's talking about. And yet the opportunities, were these opportunities for joy, these opportunities for flow, these opportunities for peace. And yet the ego doesn't think in terms of soul qualities. It thinks in terms of, what it's going to get or what it needs. And so we're encouraged that these spiritual gifts that we are receiving, they may be, a windfall of money. They may be that winning lottery ticket, but it also might be something symbolic, something that seems rather ordinary, but all of a sudden is activated or has special meaning to us. And Spirit says it could capture your attention, it could catch your eye, or mesmerize you in some way. Or we might just think we're appreciating how something looks or its beauty, when we are in reality tuned into the underlying energy that is capturing us. Something is speaking to us, and the true gift lies within that. And Spirit says this is the answer to an unspoken prayer. The actual gift is subtle, yet effective and empowering. This is a spiritual boost that allows us to move forward in life with additional enthusiasm, strength, and greater peace. We may even be empowered to accomplish tasks that have been seemingly impossible in the past, or ones in which we were unable to manage on our own. So if we've been feeling really overwhelmed, this spiritual gift may all of a sudden be like the snap of a fingers, suddenly able to accomplish these mountainous tasks that were just previously, far too big to take on. And once again, Spirit says it could be quite obvious, like a windfall of money, a new friendship or lover, or even a remarkable healing. And it could be subtle or even more powerful, such as a jolt of awareness that allows us to perceive things differently all of a sudden, an aha or epiphany moment. It may even solve a problem that has been plaguing us for some time. We know, or we can trust, that it will be bestowed as and when it is needed in perfect divine timing in the form that will best serve the love in us. We're encouraged to let ourselves be helped. Assistance is coming our way, both from the physical realms and through the divine offerings, but we must act on it and say yes. This is the time for collaborative dreaming. Significant assistance is coming from the hand of life itself, and we are encouraged to trust it, to trust in the things that we feel and say to others without knowing why, because it is Spirit moving through us. The lyrics, "Can I take you higher?" So even though we may not understand, Spirit says we must trust our connection with Source enough not to overthink or censor what is coming through us. And as such, we become a divine conduit, a vessel through which spiritual gifts can be bestowed onto others. We're encouraged, do not block yourselves. Let life happen through you. Only benefit comes from this. Love is speaking to us directly, so pay attention. Really feel the truth of what is being said and trust it, and to know that we are being helped. It is simple enough for us to say yes and to receive the gift that is coming our way. I'm going to take a moment